I want to thank you, brothers, for tuning in to the Zoom meeting concerning our videos for victory. In this session, we're going to discuss 7 videos, or try and get to 7 videos that we've been watching over the past 14 days. This is a program that we put in place for 7 months, 7 videos every 14 days, and we come together on Zoom to glean from one another as to what revelations, what bits of nuggets of wisdom was given to us from the videos and so forth, in hopes of elevating ourselves both morally and intellectually. And then, of course, taking them to the street and applying those nuggets of wisdom and bettering ourselves, our family, and our community. I would like to do a little commercial. This is Masonic Maturity Through Scripture. This book is available on Amazon. I am the author, and I think this book will help you grasp some of the principles and precepts that God has put in place for us to improve ourselves and make the kingdom better. Those of you that are Masons, this Blue Lodge Holy Bible Reference Guide will help give you an easy transition from your ritual to your Bible, and from your Bible to your ritual. This is designed to help with understanding what is taught in the Masonic system, or the Masonic order. With that in mind, with that finished, I would say welcome, thank you. Brother Gabe, any opening statements?
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, brothers. Happy to be back again and connecting and brainstorming and learning with you all.
Brother Al, that's crazy to be able to say brothers, but go ahead.
Like Brother Gabe just said, it's always a pleasure to be here to convene with the brothers. Brother Moore, it's good to see you again. I need to give you a call, brother. Everybody else, it's great to see y'all.
All right.
Indeed, just looking forward to this time to, like Grandmaster just said, to be able to glean information from each other and just, prosper from that. And that's just, it's a wonderful thing, to have brothers that you can come together with, and you can have difficulties or problems, situations, and circumstances, and know that somebody else has been through it or going through it. And at the very least, if they haven't, they got you back, and they're there just to, if nothing else, to listen to you. So, like I said, I'm glad.
I call Brother Al a bootleg preacher. He just talk. You give him the mic is his. Okay. Let me back up a little bit. Brother Gabe, any interesting occurrences or things that happened over the past 2 weeks concerning what you've gotten from utilizing what you received from the videos or what have you?
More time with self.
Okay.
More time with self in the morning. And I see, I feel myself less stressed and more productive.
Okay, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Brother Al, we're gonna try you again.
Well, this week I've actually the last few weeks I had a few blessings. A lot of it came financially, but with the financial blessing, I was also to underscore that by seeing the care that the people had for me, the concern that they had for me. I know you all know that I had an accident a while back. They had a barbecue for me in Oklahoma. My family threw basically a dinner, or you could order. They were catering it, so you ordered the place pre-ordered. And they raised a substantial amount of money, and I just thought that was really awesome. One, that my family thought enough about me to do that, but number two, that the community had concerns for me, and people I hadn't seen in years, they contributed, and it just it spoke amounts to me as far as, like I said, the way that people felt about me. When I initially got hurt, of course, the brotherhood took care of me, but just to see the general public coming, to my aid, it was awesome.
Well, he said he had an accident, but really somebody tried to take him out.
Yeah.
With a car, and broke several bones. He still is on not supposed to walk and all that kind of good stuff. And of course, Brother Al is a construction worker, remodeling homes and so forth. So that type of injury really just takes you out of the marketplace and does a lot, or just wipes out your income. So it's not just an accident. This was serious, and he, as he told me, the doctors said he was lucky to be living. If he didn't have such strong bones, he would be either paralyzed or dead. Because this woman ran into him with a full car, a whole car, and pinned him to a van. Okay, and it was videoed and the whole gamut. So that's tough. Brother Cross, anything positive, anything productive happen, or how you traveling here?
I was had a chance to reach out to Brother G, and the number you sent me, very, very, very intelligent young man with his lodge, and he did a conference call with some of the brothers. They had a lot of questions, but I think I'm gonna be able to bless this brother. He wants to build something, so that was a good link, sir. Thank you.
Interesting. Okay, good. Brother Epson, I guess this is your first chance to be with us, and you were referred by Cross. Why?
We was at work and he just liked how I think, and he just told me about the lodge and asked me if I want to be a part of it. Cause my dad's a Mason too. So I was like, he was like, you gotta ask him first. So I asked him, he said it's all right, and I'm just here right now. But right now I'm at home visiting. So this is my first time. I'm just trying to see how it is.
Okay. Brother Wilson?
Well, I'm finally an old man. I turned 38 years old today.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, brother.
Happy
Thank you. I
birthday,
appreciate it.
yeah. Old man at 38. Man, I was okay. Well, that was a blessing in itself. Brother Moore, talk to us.
Well, in the last 2 weeks, I've been able to take what I've been learning, the revelation from the videos, and pass that knowledge on to younger men after me, like younger family members, teenagers, just, being a positive influence, just guiding them about life, conversating with my nephew, my little cousins, and even my grandson, and I was able to translate that in terms of what they can understand about family and brotherly love and things like that. So that was a blessing, because we learn, as we teach others, we learn more in a sense. So I was able to do that, and I was able to translate that, because in this day and age with all the technology, you feel like you can't reach the younger people in some cases. So I was able to captivate their minds a little bit, with, and take them away from the games and pass on some knowledge and spend some time with them as a big brother and as a cousin and a relative.
All right. Sounds good. We got another preacher online with us, but that's okay. He's still talking. Well, the first video we're talking about is the source of all blessedness. Any thoughts, comments, or nuggets you pulled out of it? Hello?
The source of all blessings was God, the Most High. We already know that that's the source of all blessings, and for him putting knowledge in a format like in that video, in those particular videos, where we can take that information and that can help bless our lives. So it's the Most High is the source of all blessings, sure.
All right.
I started off. Go ahead, Brother Al.
One of the things I pulled out of the source from all blessings, just this the third word, all. Number one, all encompasses everything. you can leave nothing out. When we say that he is the all in all, you can look in the tree and God is in the tree, but he's not the tree. You can look at the way that he presented us as humans, and you can look at the sky. You can look at nature. You can look at a bunch of different things and see God in it, but he is not those things. But at the same time, he is all of those things. And so when we say all, we have to think about our obligations, think about the different things that we said that we're going to do, and think about that word all, and know that as a Mason, as a child of the Son, as a child of God, that we have to fulfill all these things. Now, our word is our bond. And as a Mason, your word is really all that you have. You need to do what you say you're going to do. And that's basically it. Or don't say it, you know. And so when we take our obligations and we say all, we have a list of things from family to our brothers to society. There's so many areas that we have to focus on, you know, and it's basically about completion and, you know, getting back to, I guess, where we started from. And we're going to talk about that in the Muhammad video from Brother Muhammad. But we
Well,
have to get back to.
how do you address the biases, prejudices, bigotries, and so forth of people?
Well, you have to start off by giving them, number one, they've been misinformed. And so, you know, there's a lot of misinformation. We've seen how through the elections and Trump and everything else that's been happening in this country, what misinformation can do for you. So first of all, we need to get the correct information or correct knowledge. And it starts by, number one, renewing our mind state. There's a lot of trash out here. And just like Brother Tony said in the other video, we have to control, alternate, and delete a lot of this stuff. So we got to control ourselves, alter our mind, and then a lot of that negativity, we just got to delete that stuff. And as far as the bigotry that we're coming across, we can only confront that with the truth. Now, the truth will always win out. You know, people can lie and say this and lie and say that. They can say what they think it is, but they don't know because they're not a part of this organization. And so the only way that.
Excuse me, but first of all, I can only see your. We need to see your whole head. There you go. You know, people act and speak on their truth.
Their truths.
Okay. And that's one of the reasons why this video is important, I think, because it says the source.
Yeah,
and
the
so
source.
the intent here is to put us all on the same page.
Yes.
And get us to understand that we all belong to one another.
Yes.
So once we can capture that, the essence of that statement, that we all belong to one another, then the world becomes a family.
Yes.
Okay. And then, as you mentioned in the video, I said something in terms of the mind is everything. What you think, you become. What you do is what you are. Okay. So the mind has to be put on a level to accept all of life equally.
Yes.
So everybody has something to contribute. I used to like to say, the guys sitting under the tree playing dominoes. I remember in one part of Houston, you drive by this corner and these brothers would be sitting out there. They had a table, they had a cooler, they had chairs, they were playing dominoes. It was like their den, okay? Any time of the day, evening, or whatever, that's where they were. In other words, they didn't have a job.
Yeah.
But you could go in that environment and get all kinds of wisdom and solutions to world problems, sports problems, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
Okay. So they have something to contribute. We just have to be able to glean it.
Yeah. Now you said that we were all interrelated, and truly we are all interrelated. So since we are all interrelated, we have to understand that everything that we do affects somebody else, or everything that we don't do will affect somebody else. We can look at this nation right now. We're in the peerless times, and we know that we're in peerless times. And I believe one of the things you said in the video was that sin and evil was a lack of the glory and the word of God. And that's truly what we have to get back to. When you say all, we have to get back to that word. That's why every lodge on the altar has a copy of that VSL, the volume of sacred law. And that is what we have to govern ourselves by at all points. And if we can get back to doing that, to being the gods that we're supposed to be, the little G's that we're supposed to be, and let him take control of our life and direct us, man, this world, not just our lodges, not just our families, but this world will be completely different.
Well, now you talking about let God take control of our lives. Now that's kind of hard.
No. What I'm saying is that
if I can't see it, feel it, touch it, taste it, hear it, I got a problem.
no, what I'm saying is that we have to get back to the source and get a connection. Like I said, we're all interrelated, interdependent, but we're all interrelated, independent on what? On the all, the source of all blessings. And so we need to make sure that we have, if nothing else, a relationship with the all, because
Okay.
he's the source of the power that we need to sustain ourselves, that we need to promote ourselves, that we need to heal ourselves. He's the source of all. And so that's the most vital connection. If we don't, that's the number one main thing. You need to make sure that you have a relationship, a connection, and I'm talking about a good relationship, not a prodigal son type thing going on. We need to be.
First time I get in trouble, I want to holler, "Oh Jesus, help me!"
Yeah.
Okay, or I'm gonna go to your church and listen at your sermons and get to feel good, and then my problem is gonna go away.
No.
And then I don't need to go back to church anymore because I got rid of the problem.
Not at all.
Brother Gabe, you want to say something? I see your mouth moving.
Yeah. So just to piggyback on what Brother Al said, we need to create that conducive environment in our body to let the divine live through us.
Yeah.
Right. So it's overcoming our vices. It's living in truth. It's communion with all that is God, right? And over time, it's a process. It's like an exercise, like going to the gym, right? Or getting on a particular diet plan. Over time, you get compound results in that relationship, and it affects every areas of your life and everybody that you encounter on a daily basis. So that's what I take from that video, source of all blessedness.
At one part, it says, "And so we find it true, first the natural man, then the spiritual man."
Correct.
So we're not talking about being religious, we're talking spiritual.
Spiritual. Yep.
And it says, through thought and through thought alone, the second man, the Lord from heaven, gradually comes over and into the first man.
Yes.
Which gives birth to the Christ man.
Yeah, the new man.
Now, of course, in the Masonic order, when you're initiated into the Masonic order, that second man is supposed to come in and begin to take over. Okay, that's why you have that transition. We say you're birthed into the order. Okay, but out here in the world, that same process. Now, I remember back in the 60s when I was about 11, 12 years old, somewhere I heard that when you hit that 12, 13 years old, it's good for you. You should be willing to give your life to Christ because you're responsible at that point for your decision at 12 or 13 years old. And when you give your life up, turn your life over, you are at that point allowing the Christ man, the spiritual man, the spirit within you to come alive. But see, we got men that are in their 20s, 30s, 40s, 60s, 70s who have not had that rebirth.
Because they will not submit. You
They
want to
want to
make
hold on to that natural being. In other words, if I can't see it,
yeah.
I can't believe it.
And like you said, then you'll never get to a true Mason, because if you can't get past that natural part and into that spiritual part to give birth to that new man, it'll never happen. You know, it will never happen.
Well, we don't have to talk about being a Mason.
Yeah.
Before you all came on, Brother Gabe and I were talking. He asked me how was my week.
Yeah.
And I told him this is a week I sell insurance. This is a week where I couldn't pay somebody to buy. And immediately he wanted to tell me about, okay, we can look at the marketing and do this and I'm saying, man, I'm not worried about it. In life, everything on God's green earth is temporary. And so there's peace.
Yeah, family.
And there's family.
Yeah.
And so you got to understand what season you're in. And even though whether you're in feast or famine, the process is the same. So if I keep prospecting, keep calling people, keep seeking deals and sales,
Consistency, yeah.
I'm going to walk right through the famine. But the average being, including a lot of preachers, they get all shook up. The devil doing this, the world doing that, people doing this to me, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Good person I know very closely, have problems, had months of peace, and then got back involved with family or whatever the case may be. All hell broke loose. And I'm going, what did you do back then? Do the same thing. Be consistent.
Yeah.
Well, go ahead.
I believe you said it worked.
And that's where we are right now. That's where the world is right now, the state that we are in at this particular moment. And if we can drown out the noise and the negativity and things like that there, and be at a state of peace and, you know what I'm saying, rely on the Most High and stay consistent, we can make it through these perilous times, as you were saying earlier, brother. But we got to get back to the source, and we got to connect to the spiritual man also. And
we got to continue to work and continue to walk. That's one thing we got to continue to do. Grandmaster, you said all the time, work will fix 90% of all problems. So as long, or a ship that sails can correct itself, but a ship that's anchored cannot do anything. So we got to keep moving. We got to keep working. We got to keep doing what we know to do. We got to keep practicing those principles of stoicism and not take it personally, not reflect it, not let it be shown and seen in us, but to take it as a grain of salt. Like you said, it's feast and famine. So it's going to pass. It's not permanent. Everything is temporary. And so we know that if we continue with the recipe and continue to follow the process, that all things will work out.
Brother Gabe, you have a rich history and heritage. Your grandfather was born, raised, lived in Africa, right?
Yes, sir.
Have you ever heard the word depression, anxiety used in relations to him?
Nope.
Wow.
Why you think that is?
I think actually, even me, the first time I heard that word, it was when I moved to America.
You know what?
You know what I mean? I mean, it's not even about my grandfather, even me, right? So once again, it's all about what we let the environment feed us, right? You know, when I was in high school in Philly, we had a counselor, and we were always taught about, oh, do you need to talk to someone? Do you need a psychologist? So even at a young age, it's something that's been planted in our brains.
There you go.
You know, and once again, once you have that sense of ownership of who you are and who you belong to and how you walk, and that connection, and that's what helped guys like my grandfather. Like, he knew who he was and who he was relying upon, in order to be able to live the life that he did and accomplish the things that he was able to accomplish. So I think, going back to the same title, the source, right? All that external noise, distraction, manipulation, whatever to call it now, shouldn't affect us once we stay fast to who we are and where we're heading.
It's all, it's just a plan.
Mhm.
It's the world's plan. We talk in several videos about the 3 evils, and the number one weapon is deception. Okay, I think I was talking to the other night, Brother Al or somebody. They mentioned something about single parent homes.
Yeah.
Okay. Bottom line is, I basically came from a single parent home. Okay. It depends on the parent. And what I'm basically saying is, the world tries to give us all these syndromes, these conditions, these ailments, and so forth, to get us to buy into their way of life and to buy their product and so forth. When what I believe is true is, if we connect spiritually with our Creator, then all things will be given to us. Now, I'm not saying we're not going to have problems.
Yeah.
Excuse me, I don't like problems. I'm not saying we're not going to have challenges and opportunities. We can overcome challenges and opportunities. We sometimes can't solve a problem, and trouble has no end. But if you got an opportunity or a challenge, you can meet that. And when it comes down to us being equipped, now, if we go back to that natural man, if I'm the best I know, if I'm the strongest that I know, if I say I gotta see it, feel it, touch it, taste it, hear it, for me to believe it, that means everything is dependent upon me. And if I'm the strongest that I know, or the strongest in my world, we all in trouble. Because I've made a whole bunch of mistakes over the years.
Yeah.
So we need to find something, and the world is crying out for godly men who can identify and operate on principles and precepts. Now, why do I holler principles and precepts all the time? Somebody help me out.
Because we have to have something to guide us. We have to have a system of moral base standard.
What's the significance of principles and precepts? They don't change.
They don't change.
A principle is a principle.
So, yeah.
I'm sitting here in my house on the second floor. If I jump out the window, the principle is what?
You're gonna break your legs.
No, I believe I can fly.
I hope you can.
I believe
Gravity, though.
I believe I can touch the sky. But the principle tells me what?
Gravity.
Wow.
And y'all gonna say that damn fool. he believes in what he said. He think he can fly. Okay?
Well,
so principles and precepts do not change. Principles and precepts are good for, I think Gabe is probably the youngest. I'm the oldest. It's good for the white, the black, the African, the Spanish, the American, the Orientals. The principles and precepts are the same.
Yeah.
Now, here's a thought. Both God and the devil
Mhm.
operate off of principles and precepts.
Precepts, yeah. Well, that's why there's a scripture that says, "Be ye not conformed to the world,
Transform.
transform." Key word is
The
transform.
renewing of the mind.
In your mind. But what have we been transformed into? We've been transformed back into that original state, back into that state that we had before the fall. That's what we need to get back to when we talk about healing and different things and total and all. We talking about a total recovery. And so we have to understand where was it that we started at, and this is exactly where we're trying to get back to. And it's only one way to do that. And it's not by conforming to the world. I tell you that much.
Okay. Brother Moore, any comments on that? You know, I thought the second video, what I believe to be true was, I wanted to put that out there because all too often we find men trying to be politically correct, don't want to offend, and don't want to take a position, take a stand. And I need to know who you are. Because if I don't know who you are, I don't know whether I can count on you. If that makes sense.
Yep.
You know, so this video, what I believe is true was to just say, this is my position in life. This is my doctrine. Every man should have a doctrine.
Mm.
Now, if you go back to the movies, and I suspect it happened in real life, you go back to the movies with the mafia and the crooks of, in Chicago and back in the day, if you got $1,000 from them and they told you have it in 2 weeks, if not on Friday, they were gonna break your left kneecap and your right arm.
You believe that to be true? And they wasn't playing.
If you didn't have the money, that was it. Okay? But now I can let you have $5 and you tell me you give it to me day after tomorrow, and day after tomorrow I can't find you. Or you tell me your cat got sick and your dog is pregnant. So the thing is, when we operate off of principles and precepts, we have to become disciplined. Because we're going to have challenges, we're going to have opportunities, things are going to arise, but we have to be disciplined. And one of the reasons I really hone in on the Bible is because it is designed to do two things for us. Give us protection and to provide for us.
Hey, Brother Ware,
Yes, sir.
I've been on 2 scriptures this week. Kind of ties in what the brothers are saying. The first one is there's a time and a season for everything. And it brought me to the scripture where our Father who's out in heaven, where he say, hallowed be thy name. Then he say, thy will be done. And I thought about Jesus in the garden when he told him to take this cup. But then he said, not my will, but thy will. So that's what I've been on all week, the will of God for my life.
Right.
Okay. Brother Wilson, you quiet.
Yeah, well, my take on it is that God's grace is sufficient. God is a foundation to my life. So as long as I depend on him, whether I'm being lied on, mistreated, talked to in an undesirable manner, just keep the faith, keep pushing, and just keep your trust in God. Trust God. It sounds all over the place in Virginia. Here in Virginia, it says no matter what, trust God. And that like you say, I believe that to be true. you know, because he hasn't failed me yet. You know, whatever happened, it's nothing new under the sun, and I've been in this position before, so God will bring me through it. I'll be fine, you know. And that's for anybody, Mason, non-Mason, you know. And that's my take on it.
Okay, Brother Epson, any comments?
My take on it is, as long as you just have faith in God and keep working, because you got to put in something for Him to help you. Because if you don't, if you ain't doing nothing, He ain't gonna help you. So, as long as you believe that He'll help you and actually put in something, you'll be all right.
Man, you really hit it hard. You hit the nail on the head. I mean, I want you to picture this. We are out in the woods. It's temperatures dropped to about 40 degrees, and we're cold. We got wood. We have flint or matches, and we want a fire. Okay? We believe that God is going to provide some heat in the heat of fire for us to be warm. Wholeheartedly. We're going to get our fire?
Not if you don't make no moves.
Only if we strike the match. And Epson hit the nail on the head. We got to do something.
Yeah.
And therein lies the problem for many, many people. God help me. And you see what I'm doing right now? God help me. I'm sitting on my rusty duster. Instead of getting up and moving. Going back to Gabe's and our conversation, I keep calling people. I keep going out and meeting people, passing out business cards. The sales trend, instead of being like this, it goes like that because I kept striking the match. Bottom line. So therein lies zero availability for depression, anxiety, because my mind is occupied with striking the match. I'm constantly striking the match. I know some of y'all don't understand that, but you get these little paper packages of matches and you try and scratch one and it don't work. You throw that one away, you pull another and strike that one until you get the spark to start the fire. Brother Gabe, you in business for yourself, IT, you have to go out and search and get clients, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. Have you ever gotten a no?
Every day.
Have you gotten 2, 3 no's in a row?
I'm already immune to no's. Like,
I like that, brother.
yeah,
Like that. I'm immune to that.
I'm immune to no's. And the thing is, no.
Let me stop you.
Mhm.
Brother Cross is in the process of starting business.
Mhm.
Okay. So, and even though you're younger than him, and I don't know exactly all his history, but now you can share how long you've been in business. Gabe?
4 years.
Okay, go ahead. Now you can share some wisdom here.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, it starts with the belief in yourself and believe in your product, right? Like you need to have a strong faith in what you bring to the marketplace
Like that.
in terms of value, right? Second of all, you have to also be prepared
Yes.
for any potential
Yes.
prospect meeting, right?
Yes.
So, and never underestimate your prospect because one prospect who say no might bring you his sister or his brother or his cousin, right? So every interaction is a opportunity for you to plant a seed. Now, in regards to overcoming objections and handling no's, the beautiful thing about it is that you always come out of that meeting with something like you learn,
Yes.
it's a learning experience.
Yes.
In
Yeah.
the sense that maybe you may get some feedback on how you can improve your process or your product,
Mm.
or you may get actually um, an understanding that the prospect is not saying no because they don't want to buy it, but it means not right now.
Yeah.
So maybe encourages you to follow up. Um, um, and that's where the consistency comes in again, right? You have to keep on, matches and so you can't be just giving up on that. And another thing is understanding why they're saying no.
Mm.
You know what I mean? So, okay, dear prospect, I understand that you're not ready to move forward right now, but can you tell me a little more why? Why do you feel this way? Any feedback you may have for me, right? So having a good sense of humility, it actually touches, because people will always remember how you make them feel. And even in adversity, when you make them feel good out of that meeting, trust me, they might hit you up in a few weeks or in a few months saying, hey, Brother Cross, remember me? You came to my house or whatever. I'm ready to move forward. Can we have a conversation? Because they remember how you make them feel. So those are my 2 cents.
Okay. You know what I'd like to do, and I've done this quite a few times, is after I've met with a couple or person and they bought from me, I close my book and put their check away because they have to give me some money. And then I ask them, why did they buy?
Hmm.
I figure that takes guts.
Yeah, that's provocation.
That's what? You said that's what, Gabe?
Some prospect might feel like they're gonna think it over, like, did I make a mistake?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's a good one.
Yeah.
Hey, Brother Ware,
Yes, sir.
I've noticed, like the insurance business, whether you believe it or not, it's a need for it. And like my brother was saying with the business, it goes back all the way to business 101, supply and demand. Even in my field, I look for a demand or a need, and then I supplied it.
What do you do, Brother Cross? What do you sell?
Right now, I'm in the middle of a small business administration class where they got me on 2 NCIS codes. My first one is transportation, where I'm trying to be a broker agent, where I deal with the supplier and then the customers. And then my second one is like in landscaping. So I'm trying to do deliveries at the same time. It's the customers, because the name of the company is See It's All About You.
Mm-hmm.
But that was birthing me because it's about God. But I'm letting the customer know it's all about you. Whatever your need is, whether it's Walmart, Costco, Kroger's, or whatever, I can get that product and deliver it to you. Mm-hmm. So you got a need, I can supply that need, whatever it is. So that's where I am right now, sir.
All right. Comment. Just sidebar. I know we've been talking a lot about spirituality, but I just want to touch on what you two brothers were saying as far as supply and demand, belief in yourself, and belief in your product. All this has to do greatly with masonry. What is our product? What are we selling here? What is it that we believe? What supply do we have, and what is the supply that the world is in need of for the supply and demand? And so we have to think of masonry in these terms. And I think we start to think of it in these terms, it can be quite profitable.
Okay.
Having a true understanding of what a master mason is, having a true understanding of our laws and our precepts and our principles. And that's what we're selling, that and God. Okay. And so how do we go about doing that?
Yeah. And the what I believe to be true video talks a lot about a sacred word. When you tell a client, hey, I'm gonna do your landscaping and this is gonna be the outcome,
yeah,
give them your word. right? And based on that word and the outcome, they're gonna call you back next month for a re-up, right? So we have to really leverage the principles and precepts of masonry.
Okay.
Entrepreneur.
Practice what we teach.
If I had
Yeah.
to tell you what I'm selling, it would be peace, power, and
And
prosperity.
prosperity,
And by prosperity, I don't necessarily mean money.
money.
Prosperity gospel.
Hey, if you get peace and power,
Yes.
you can make prosperity whatever it is.
Okay.
Okay, you should feel prosperous even though you don't have money. You should have joy even though the circumstances are not good, because circumstances make you happy. They don't bring you joy.
Come on.
And Brother Cross, one thing I want to share with you is don't always wait on clients to let you know what their needs are. You have to create the need for them.
Okay.
And make them believe, you know what I mean? Like you have to be able to, because you're an expert, you know the best interest of the client better than, most clients don't know what they need. They buy for what they want. They don't buy what they need. People buy what they want, right?
Yes, sir.
So you position yourself as an expert and now tell the client or prospect, hey, based on my experience, based on my knowledge, this is why you need me for this X, Y, and Z.
Okay.
And you know what I mean? And you articulate that need for them to process it, digest it, and then, move forward with the transaction.
So, if I'm a consumer and I'm looking for your expertise, I should be able to see with my eyes what it is basically that you're saying.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
So my walk and my talk, what I'm saying should basically be congruent with one another.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. You need to be able to show that leadership, by your action, by your record, by your testimonials, whatever. But above everything, the way you carry yourself. That's what people remember.
Talk about rapport.
Rapport?
Yeah. Establishing rapport.
Yeah, establishing a rapport, number one, is before you establish a rapport, you have to do homework. You have to do research on who you're going to be dealing with. You need to know everything possible about them. That's what always I send my clients like a questionnaire before a call, because I need them to tell me a little more about who they are, what their needs are, what their problems are, so to make the conversation a little more productive. And actually they're going to appreciate that, because they're going to feel like, okay, this guy is a professional. Like he's really like, he cares about helping me out. He's not just trying to get a dollar out of me, right? So that's the first thing. The second thing is, once you initiate the conversation, you go over everything that they fill in the application or whatever, the survey, whatever you're going to send them. And you repeat everything they told you, because now you are proving to them that you've received the information, you've done some work, and you put together a plan that you're willing to present. So he allows that initial conversation to be, it's still a cold call or cold meeting, but it's a little warmer. You're not just like, in the middle of the ice bucket or something. Like you right? It's a little more cozy, I should say. And rapport should always be addressing the prospect with their last name. So if you're my prospect for the first time, I'm going to call you Mr. Cross. I'm not going to assume that you're a cool cat. We're from whatever, the same city. We may have common friends on Facebook, doesn't give me permission to call you Darnell, right? Once you tell me, hey, just call me Darnell, then I transition to addressing you on your first name basis. But that building rapport is also not about the sale. It's about establishing the fact that you understood who they are, what their needs may be, understand if they have the money, number one, because I mean, this is not Mr.
Mr. Ware.
Cross.org, right?
Now I heard years ago, every ugly woman know a pretty woman.
For sure.
Every broke person knows somebody with a lot of money.
For sure.
So you
For
gotta
sure.
be careful with that one.
No. Once again, once you build a rapport, because in my field, right, you have to be able to understand what every single meeting needs to have some kind of outcome.
Okay.
So if I know that right now you don't have the means to afford my solution, now I switch the conversation to how we can collaborate in a different capacity, aka referrals, aka
Right.
you know what I mean? But you need to get out of the way in that initial meeting, and not to get a sale, but just to say, hey, is this a good fit? Can we really help each other out? If it doesn't, it's fine. We could remain friends and figure everything else out. But in my principle and precepts, right, I like to integrate, because you need to know your value, right?
Okay. Like that.
You need to know your value, and your time is valuable.
Yes, it
So
is.
if you take 30 minutes to drive to a meeting, and you spend money on gas, on tolls, right? So you need to be able to, something needs to come out. It doesn't have to be tangible cash, but something of value needs to come out of that.
Well, there's no such thing as wasted time.
Yeah.
And my feelings are, if you do your part, if you strike in the match, then the good Lord above will make sure the fire happens.
Yep.
It might not be from that particular client. It might not come out of that particular sales confrontation or conversation. But if you follow the principle, somewhere you're going to get paid. Proverbs 14:23, I believe. In all labor, there's profit.
Absolutely.
So if you do the work, you're going to get paid. I mentioned, I don't know if I did on the video or whatever, but I traveled about 75 miles out of Houston, made 3 sales. It was about $2,500 commission. Happy as all get out. I drove there 70, 80 miles an hour. Coming back, got back to Houston, the phone rung. Lady called and canceled all 3 policies. On the way back from her house. I said, okay, God, I did what I was supposed to do. It's up to you. I got another 15 miles down the road, corner 610 and 290, Highway 290, and had a flat. Same day, same trip, I started laughing. I said, I know something good is about to happen.
Yep.
Now, I thank you for blessing me on this trip, going and coming back, because I knew my tires were bad when I went. And I was driving fast. So I could have had an accident and killed myself or whatever. So I'm good with that. But hey, for me to have a flat now, I know something's good is coming.
Got it.
And that was because of the spiritual connection.
Got it.
Sure enough, a few minutes later, one of my a funeral home called me and said, call these people, they want to buy 2 pre-need funeral plans.
Wow.
But I believe if I had gotten down when I got that call to cancel those 3 policies, if I had started poor-mouthing, bad-mouthing, feeling bad, got upset behind her canceling it, I would have shut down the universe and not allowed a blessing to come.
Correct.
So I maintain the position in my business. In all labor, there's profit.
Do you know that on my calendar, every 3 hours, I schedule 10 minutes to express gratitude. It's on my calendar.
Whoa.
I came to realize that when you always in the spirit of gratitude in all circumstances, raises your vibration, it raises your magnetism, right? Like the universe, like, you know, Grandmaster Ware said, now opens door of opportunity. The more, but if you like, you know, talking trash and like, you know, you let those distractions, those words get in your head, then you're gonna have a bad year, not a bad week, not a bad month, but a bad year, right? So
Never heard that one before. 10 minutes every what?
every 3 hours.
Every 3 hours, 10 minutes. Okay.
3, 6, 9, 12.
Yep.
Okay, that's 4 every 12 hours.
Every 3 hours. You know, I just take up, you know, I have a couple lines that I say, and it just boosts me up, like, you know, better than a shot of Hennessy, better than whatever.
Hey, don't knock the hen now. Come on.
Can I add a side note?
Yes, sir.
Observe, interpret, apply. And that's why I was hearing a lot earlier as you all were talking. We have to be mindful of our situations, our surroundings, and our circumstances. And as we observe these things, we get knowledge, hopefully the correct information. And once we get that correct information, we need to comprehend it and understand it. And then we can apply it. And once we apply it, we should get the desired result.
Okay.
I have a question, Grandmaster Ware.
Go ahead.
Do you feel like a good Mason has to be some, like, just to piggyback on what the brother I just said, has to be someone who's curious? Like, because part of that observance, we need to ask why, or what do I learn from this? Right?
You know.
Well, yes. First of all, I'm going to say a good Mason is one that constantly studies
Study.
his craft. If you're not constantly studying your craft, whether you're a Mason, a lawyer, a doctor, a contractor, or whatever the case may be,
You master it. Yeah.
you lost. And using Al in the home remodeling and construction and so forth. Okay, so back in the day, you heard bam, bam, bam. That's all you heard was hammers hitting nails. Okay, so if you're not up on the fact that you can get a nail gun,
Yeah.
okay, and I grew up with the saw. All right. So now, if you're not up on getting you a generator that you can plug into 110 or 110 outlet and plug in an electric saw, you know, you falling behind.
Yeah.
So a good Mason and a good man is always, and when I say man, I'm talking genderless. A good Mason or a good man, woman, is gonna have to stay up on their craft. We're not gonna wanna go to an accountant that's not up on the new tax law. A doctor that haven't cracked a medical book in 30 years once he graduated, or a lawyer to represent you. So you got to stay on top of your craft. Yes, you got to stay you stay diligent in your studying, and you got to be curious. You got to want to know more and more and more. We say in Masonry that you are in search of deep truth. And if you read, test it. I like to say, in God we trust, everybody else we test. Sometimes we test twice. So find a scripture, read it, write down what revelations, what thoughts you get from that scripture. Make a note, put a piece of paper in your Bible. 6 months later, read the same scripture, and you'll come up with a different revelation because you're in a different time in your life.
Hey, Master Ware.
Yes, sir.
My brother was saying every 3 hours he was showing gratitude. It brought to remembrance in the book of Daniel how Daniel 3 times a day, regardless of his circumstances, he prayed 3 times a day. It's sort of like staying connected to your source.
Yep.
It ain't sort of like staying.
You know what happened to Daniel, right? They threw him in the lion's den. But since he stayed true, the good news is God kept the lion's mouth shut and took care of Daniel. Some bad stuff can't happen to you when you're keeping it real. But in the end, if you hold true to what you know, you should come out all right.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Let me say let me go back a little bit to this rapport thing. I was having a house remodel and I had to have a plumber come out. And so, first of all, he wanted to tell me about replumbing the whole house. And I'm going, we ain't looking at that, okay? And it was an old man and his son. The old man said, well, when you get ready to repipe the house, I said, who in the hell told you I was gonna repipe this house? I just need you to fix this part. Okay, well, okay, I can do that, but you know, you should look at, okay, I got you. When I was talking to the son, he was explaining to me every intricate detail that he had to do to redo the piping for the bathroom and the kitchen and the wash and dry connection. And I'm looking at him and I'm going, you see my face? Do I look like I understand what you're telling me? I don't understand what you're telling me, and I don't really care about what you're telling me. I want to be able to use the faucet in the kitchen, have the wash and dry work, flush the commode, take a shower in the bathroom. How can you do that for me? Well, I can do that. Okay, just do it. I'm not interested in becoming a plumber. Okay, Al, what would you do with a customer like that?
I would do exactly what they asked me to do or whatever they told me to do. Regardless of what I thought needed to happen, the customer's always right. So even if, say,
no, the customer is not always right, but go ahead.
But when it comes to getting their money, they are.
See, here's my point.
You're a contractor.
Here's my point. I sell insurance, and my philosophy is you either need to know how to do something or be prepared to pay somebody to do it. Okay? I am an end game or the results type of person. Okay? And I figure it's more economically feasible for me to pay you to redo the sheetrock, the wall, the floors, the plumbing, than for me to try and do it. I know a lot of stuff and how to do some things. But my point is, I can go out and make more than you charging me, okay, if I do what I do. So I'm dependent on you to do what you do. So
Okay.
all you have to do is make me feel comfortable that I'm going to get the desired end,
Outcome. Yeah.
the desired outcome.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm remodeling a house so I can rent it out. Okay. This is what you got. This is what I'm going to do. This is the quality, or this or this. Which way you want to go? This going to cost X. That's going to cost Y. That's going to cost C. What would you like, Mr. Ware?
Yeah. No, that's, but when I look back at what you just said, that younger plumber was also trying to be transparent, because
Right.
oftentimes we get all these quotes with no explanation, and it's like
Right.
thousands of dollars, and you're like, okay, for what?
Oh
You
yeah,
know?
I was paying them over $6,000.
Exactly. So
Okay.
I think that I give him kudos. It doesn't have to be too technical, but it's important to show that level of transparency.
Got it.
You know, it's like, okay, we jump on a plane, doesn't mean we understand aircraft, but we know, you know, we need to put our seatbelt on, and we need to, you know, like we know a little bit on how to function inside a plane to ensure a safe landing and takeoff.
Right.
Same thing, right? So I guess this is where a lot of technical salespeople have a hard time explaining it to a 6-year-old what they're going to do for the desired outcome.
And I'm like that 6-year-old because
Yeah, you know.
I have no desire to know.
The technology, yeah.
Yeah, you know.
Well,
and go ahead, Al. This is your field.
I believe Jesus said we have to come as children. And even when we talk, I remember my pastor used to tell me, before you get up to preach, kiss. I say, well, you say, keep it simple, stupid.
Yep.
Keep it simple. Don't try to talk with people here. You know, be able to talk layman's talk to the layman, basically.
Yeah. So I just thought I'd throw that at you because going into business for yourself and operating your own business, you got to be able to read your customers.
Yep.
And one of the great things that came out earlier was Gabe saying he send out a survey or a questionnaire, because that gives you an idea as to what type of person you're dealing with.
Yep.
Okay. You know, my biggest pet peeve is for you to come back and say, well, I didn't know this, I didn't know that, so it's going to cost you extra money. No, you search out the deal in the beginning and give me the total price. Now, if it costs more to do it, you bite the bullet. If it costs less to do it, you made it good. That's all it is to it.
But I'm going to explain why I came up with that process of sending out a questionnaire or survey prior. I was busy with meetings, but no production. It's like you get out of the house in the morning, you come out at night with nothing, weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. I'm like, you know, like my wife would think that you're so busy, but there's no money. Like, it's like, what's going on with that? So when I tweak some, part of my process just to, because it's okay for us to disqualify clients too. You know, not everybody is a good fit. So once and that comes back to be true to who you are, understanding your value.
The doctrine.
Exactly. So that really brought transformation to my sales cycle. So, brought across something that, you could try to test as well on your end.
Got you.
You're going to see that you may only have 2 meetings a day instead of 7, but those 2 meetings conclude to something meaningful. But you have a bunch of meet 7, 8 people every day passing out business cards. You're making a lot of friends, but you're not making a lot of money.
Yeah. Well, when we go with the temple to temple, that next video, part 4, and that says observation, interpretation, application. And so one of the things we got to do is keep our eyes open. We have to be able to see what's coming and how to handle the situation and actually project what is going to happen. So out of every interaction, something happens. And as you all have already said, you establish rapport, you establish a connection, a relationship. So what's the benefit of it? Okay. You got to interpret what that person can do for you and what you can do for them. And one of the key precepts in masonry is if I meet you, I don't go to you trying to figure out what you can do for me, but rather what I can do for you. And that's scripturally valid because it says, give and ye shall receive.
Given unto you. Yep.
So the bottom line is we look at the world and relationships and interaction differently than the world, because I'm trying to figure out, okay, I met Gabe, he's in IT, I'm using this Zoom and videos and all that kind of good stuff. What can I get him to do for me to help me boost my business? Well, the first thing I should look at is what can I do for him? Another way of saying it, and the first, which is him, shall become last, and the last, which is me, shall become first. So if I treat him first, If I take care of his need, his want, then I'm gonna get taken care of. Okay, Gabe, you got something to say?
Come on, bro, Gabe.
No, but like initially at the beginning of the call, when we were talking about your week, automatically I was like, how can I help Grandmaster Ware with his process? Right?
Yeah.
It was, you know, and it's something that I don't know if it's because I'm in this journey and I'm transitioning to, you know, the connection with the Christ in me, the God in me. But you'd be surprised how I spend now about 40% of my time helping people, like naturally. 3 years ago, 4 years ago, it wasn't that, right? But I think that it becomes second nature as we work in building that internal temple to make somebody feel better, add value to somebody's organization or business, or, you know, I don't even feel good going to sleep at night if I haven't brought impact, right? So that's what I really hope our brotherhood can, you know.
Okay, that see, you brought a couple of things to my mind here. Man, we're not gonna get to finish all these videos.
Yeah.
We got time.
But see, you're talking about doing something for somebody and making them feel good. You got Al Brothers, who at some point in time want to start his own construction and remodeling business. You got Cross, who's running his business. Epson, we don't know what he's gonna do. Hey, I sell insurance, and I tell you quick, I can't give away the funeral home's money. So there's no discounts here. Okay? And you think you're doing something for people when you cut your rates and so forth. Okay? You cut down on what you're charging them. That's how you can help them. Is that a good way to do it or not?
Even sharing wisdom, you know, preparing them. It's you know, when lawyers talk to you for 30 minutes and they charge you $300 or $500 for sharing advice, we could do the same for free.
Mm-hmm.
They may not buy the product, but they know at least the process. They know how to better prepare for before they transition.
Yeah. I guess my question and my point is, it's not always money.
Correct.
Okay.
True.
And the world will look for what kind of deal can you give me? Now, you know, I need this house redone,
Yeah.
and you telling me it's gonna cost $35,000. Man, I got somebody else. I know I can find somebody to do it for $25,000.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now you have to sell me on your value.
Yes, yes.
I'm reminded of a guy, crud. I can't remember his name, but back in the 70s, oh no, it wasn't 70s, it was in the 80s. He was in the piping business and dealing with well drilling equipment and so forth. And when the oil boom fell out and all that kind of good stuff in Houston, he wrote a letter to all his customers and said, hey, you know who I am. You know what the product and the quality I've been providing. I'm going to continue providing you with that quality. I'm not cutting my prices, but I'm not raising my prices. Bear with me, hang with me, and we'll make it through. And he didn't lose one customer.
Wow.
Hey, Master Ware.
Yes, sir.
That's I ain't gonna say it's coincidental, but my last class last week, and that's what he was teaching us, because we get to bid on federal, state, and local contracts on that level. And he was telling us how you got to be careful how you bid, because you don't want to underbid and cut your throat where you're taking money out of your pocket.
Yeah.
Right.
And it ties in what you were saying about the insurance. You know, I can't cut no deals.
And you can't cut your own value either.
No, you can't cut your
Okay.
value. You
Right.
got to know your value.
You gotta know your value. You know what I mean?
Gotta know your value.
It's like, you know,
I tell people the big question is, does it cost more to be born or to die?
To be born?
I
To be
don't know.
born, probably.
I don't know.
that's a good question. Woo,
Yeah.
that's
Dies
hard.
about 6,000. Being born is around about probably 4,000. I don't know. It depends
You
on
can
where you're
get
born.
cremated for $1,000.
No, I think it's
Yeah.
much more to be born.
Yes.
I don't know.
I
I
agree.
just posed the question.
Because
I don't know
once
which-
you're born, there's still bills.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
You know, when somebody want to be buried, they tell me, and I tell them it's gonna cost $12,000-13,000. They're going, wow, what? I didn't know it cost them. I said, yes, it costs a lot to get out of here.
Unless the state take you.
Hey, somebody paid for you to come into the world. Certainly, you should be able to pay the good.
Yeah.
Okay, but it costs. I don't pick any bones about it. It is what it is. Now, as Cross said, yeah, you can spend $1,500, $2,000 to be cremated. They strike that match, and you gone. Okay. But hey, what have you left behind?
true. Legacy.
Whoa.
So I get people all the time, man, just burn me, just cremate me. I don't care. They don't nobody have to. What has your life stood for? And that's what this is all about, brothers. This is getting ourselves and formulating ourselves, developing ourselves to the point where our life stood for something. As Gabe say, a legacy. When I first met Gabe and he told me about his grandfather, and I'm going, whoa, wish I could have met him. So if you fell over now and died, what would be said about
Oh.
you? Or is there not enough to be said so that we just need to go on and flip the Vic, okay?
Yeah.
And say bye. Do we just need to light it up and say bye? Or is there a legacy that can live on?
You know, and yeah, that comes back to the first video, right? All the videos actually. It's
The last video too.
yeah, the last video, all of them. Yeah, like, you know, it's we really need to be connected and we need to be focused. We need to be on top of the craft. We need to be like, it just speeds up the process of knowing why you're here, what you need to do to excel here, and to leave a mark.
Okay.
I like it.
Yes.
Go
The
ahead,
way
brother.
brother Tony Rachel had put it in the last of his video. He was give that story about when you die, and it said it was a desk here, and you got to get into heaven. And if your leadership was, you know, like your credit score, would you need a cosign? And that's just something we all need to ask ourselves. You know, when it comes to our masonry, when it comes to our leadership, when it comes to our loyalty, do we need cosigners? Are we what we say we are? Something we all got to think about.
Well, you know, with the video Temple to Temple, we started that one on April 12th. And if you look at the drawings or talk about the King Solomon's Temple, there were like 3 rooms, okay? And those rooms represent development, our development, because we come in out of the rain, first of all, to the porch, and then we go into the holy place, and then we're supposed to end up in the Holy of Holies. Well, the Holy of Holies is a place where you are supposed to be qualified to commune with God, with the Spirit. Many of us never get past the porch. Okay.
Some of us said we're on the wrong block.
Yeah, we got honorary degrees. We ain't certified. I mean, you know, hey, I wonder. And as you look around, you can start to see it too. You know, people Some people are just in it maybe for the notoriety, but they're not trying to actually get change or benefit. They come into it looking for gain, and the gain is the beneficial. The gain comes from the internal. Basically, it's not the external gain that you're looking. You should be joining to become a masonry. Joining masonry. I was talking to a brother at the actually the other day at the liquor store, and he was just telling me about how some of these young brothers, and he's like, man, they got some cats over there that just joining, and doing all type of crazy stuff, and thinking that masonry is gonna keep them out of prison. They're doing drugs and and sleeping with each other's wives. I was like, well, first of all, this is all Masonic, as far as their actions and activities anyway. But it just really has to make us think in our minds where our positioning is, and look at our brothers and think about them. What is it that we really want out of this? What is it that we're really what is it that we expect to get? That's the first thing. What do you expect to get out of Mason? And I don't think a lot of people, they have the wrong answers. I know you asked me that when I first wanted to join. You asked me what did I expect to get? And my answers were pretty selfish. They were pretty selfish. That is going to change over time.
In this temple to temple video, I said all that pleases our senses, fancies our minds, all pleasures of the flesh is vanity. And then I say, read it, study it for yourself. The writings of King Solomon in the books of Proverbs and Ecclesiastes, because that teaches us how to ward off vanity, ego, and fear. And when you get rid of those three, vanity, ego, and fear, man, you are free to live.
Hey, Master Ware.
Yes, sir.
Based on my brother, he said cosign. And see, I need a cosign. But when I came, what made me want to be a Mason was on my father's obituary, it had professional organization. And when I talked with the link you gave me, Brother G, and he said he was trying to build his lodge. 2 days later, I say, sir, I can show you how to bring in $250,000 because I'm at Amazon and they got this DSL service, you can do the trucking business. He said, man, that's crazy because I've been praying for God to send me a fact. He said, I got truckers in the lodge. I got guys got their own trucks. But see, and I told him, like my guy, Vaughn, I say, if I can get around some professional men, like my last class, they sent me links of different contractors that I'd be bidding contracts on. I was like, I got a brother in Texas, he do contracting. I got a brother in IT in North Carolina. If I run across a multi-million-dollar contract, I can't fulfill it, but I got brothers that do. So I'm hoping this Masonic Lodge is sort of like a government where I know brothers in certain business that I can pass that multi-million-dollar contract to. And the co-signer part would be I can subcontract under them brothers. They'll be making more money than me, but I can bring a blessing to those brothers. Is that wrong to be in the Masonic Lodge to bring that kind of offering?
Yeah, you wrong.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just messing with you.
Brother, well.
Got you for and it is the ultimate government.
I'm just messing with you.
Okay.
That's what this thing is all about, is I help you and you help me. Not you help me and I help you. Is I help you, make you number one, and then you help me.
Got it.
Okay? That's what it's all about. It's like the young man giving you, and you got him by 20 years, advice on how to handle and talk to those corporate yahoos who you have to go to, talk to get the bids. Okay? Now, I'm not saying you didn't know, but he might point out something that is beneficial, okay, and vice versa. So that's the way we operate. So no, okay, that's not, what you're saying is not bad at all. If you got a connection, you turn Al Brothers onto it. Al Brothers should reciprocate. But if he doesn't, fret not,
It's coming around the corner.
because your God and Lord above will take care of you.
Okay.
And to come back to the video of Grandmaster Muhammad about the issues that you know, the Messianic order is going through. You know, I feel like this book here, Brother Ware,
Yeah,
give me pretty good amount of foundation. Because you see, Brother All, like what you're saying is true. I see it all over the country. I travel for work. And unfortunately, a lot of young men are joining for the wrong reasons and they have the wrong perception. And I'm very blessed to be like part of, I mean, with you guys, because I feel like I'm in good hands, right? Because some people are also, unfortunately, they go through places and they're not nurtured the right way. And maybe the leadership is showing them wrong examples as well, right? So, you know, of course, we got to help each other with the business and all that stuff. But I think that above all, I feel like if we have a true foundation of love and morality, everything else comes into place. Everything else, like
absolutely.
You know, love and morality, like those two hand in hand, it's a wrap.
Thank you for that commercial. You know,
Yes, that
let
was
me
great.
see here. Did I put it in this book? No, I didn't. It's in the other one. My motto is in the Blue Lodge Holy Bible Reference Guide. I made the statement that says, I know it by heart, fellas. I just want to read it. It says, we can get men, but until we get to their spirit, we will not have a Mason. So the Masonic life is a spiritual journey. Okay, it is not a natural, material type journey. I'm sure I put that.
Obtain the spirit of God, maintain the spirit of God, share the spirit of God. That's not, no, not that.
No, it's I'll be doggone. I would have bet you a dime to a dollar that I had it in one of these. But that was my I say that in our orientation classes and all that good stuff, that we can get men into the Masonic order. But until we get to their spirit, we'll never have a Mason. Because the Masonic travel is a spiritual one, just as the Christian faith is a spiritual journey. So we got to develop the spirit. We got to develop inside, and then we will get all the outside. So yeah, you're gonna get what God has to offer you, okay? But you got to put something out first. Got to strike the match. Anything else? What else are we talking about? We got Andre Story, Grandmaster Andre Story out of Chicago. We had Amzid Muhammad, which that one was cut kind of short. And I think there's another video with past Grandmaster Muhammad, Amzid Muhammad.
Yeah.
That's a powerful young man.
Oh, yeah, it was.
We met up in
He's dope.
Chicago.
Yeah.
We met up in Buffalo, I believe. And I didn't know he was going to be there. He didn't know I was going to be there. I also met with past Grandmaster Tony Muhammad, which is the video I just sent you guys. But man, when I was talking to past Grandmaster Amzid Muhammad, I had to make myself cut it off. We got to talking so much and having a good time, and this brother sharing wisdom with me. And by the way, he's like in his late 40s, you know, whatever. So I'm trying to, I don't mind listening to these youngsters, you know, because they're constantly putting something in me that I need to stay alive. Okay. So I'm learning from you guys. Don't ever think that I'm here just to teach you. I'm trying to glean from you. Okay.
I'm trying. Not me right now, but like watching his video made me feel like I want to reach out to you, you know, Brother Al, Grandmaster Ware, like on the history of true Masonry, because the way he talked in that video, it's like a lot of things has evolved, and I feel like I'm coming at the 3.0 version. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, like, you know, so it'd be good, like, you know, we'd be able to talk about that some other time, you know, privately, but like, yeah, get to the foundation of the basics of the, you know, the raw material of Masonry.
Yes, sir. He's a powerful young man. Let's see, videos for victory. Let me see what I got here. Bam.
And Brother Al, I'm gonna get your number too.
Okay.
Same for Brother Cross. We're gonna exchange numbers.
Okay.
All right.
Y'all go ahead and do that.
I'll put it in put mine in the chat.
Yeah, okay. I want to check the list because we have another video coming up with past Grandmaster Amzed Muhammad. Okay, that you're gonna watch and discuss. Don't jump ahead. Just stay with me, fellas. Stay with me. But it's about 2 days, 2 times down. Let's see, we got one more, and then we got him again coming after this next session. So, and that's where he and I talked. We met up in Buffalo, I believe, and sat down and talked, and like the energy from this young man is powerful. And then you have past Grandmaster Emeritus Weston Jarvis, again, a young man with tremendous energy. Okay, so, and these guys, yeah, they might be talking about Masonry, but understand the principles and precepts. Remember, principles and precepts are good no matter who you are, how old you are, what your nationality, your ethnicity, your where you are. Principles and precepts are universal, continuous laws, and for your betterment, period. Bottom line, doesn't matter, okay? But these guys hit the nail on the head, and when it comes down to relationships and dealing with folks and so forth. And those are the kind of men that we want to hang around. And if you hang with me, you're gonna meet them. Okay. You're gonna meet them. I'll introduce you to them and walk off. Hey, you do what you do. But I guarantee you will come out of an interaction with these young men feeling more empowered. So any other questions, comments? We're gonna try and end it. We've been going almost 2 hours.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Good talk today. I just want to say, when you're talking to people of A squared plus B squared don't equal the C squared, run from them. And one more thing, let's serve and be of service.
I got you. Brother Cross, any closing remarks?
I wish all you brothers and your families a blessed week coming up and look forward to the next meeting.
Okay, that's gonna be on June 25th, I think.
That's far. That's like
No, June 11th, June 11th. I apologize, Brother Gabe. Okay, June 11th, okay? And on that one, we got Grandmaster Dre Jones, another powerful, powerful young man, and Brother Grandmaster Carlos Smith. And we discussed the parts 3, 4, and 5 of Temple to Temples. So that ought to be a lively conversation. Brother Epson, you chimed in, eavesdropped. What's going on?
Oh yeah, I was just listening, but I like what I was hearing though.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Well, you're welcome to join us again. Brother Gabe, talk to us.
No, it was a great, really good session. So wishing you guys a great week ahead, and let's remain consistent, consistent with the communion, consistent in trying to build our internal temple, and bringing value to the order.
Very good. In order to our lives, brothers, this platform serves as a quote mastermind. A mastermind group is a group of people, men that can come together from different occupations, different age groups, and they're all there for the benefit of each other. Might not give the natural resources, but words of wisdom, encouragement go a lot further than a dollar. If that makes sense. And if it doesn't, think about it for a hot minute. I do appreciate your attendance, your participation. Tell somebody about it. I do have an objective. If you want to help me, help me. I want to get us to 5,000 subscribers.
Oh, got it.
We have over 3,200 right now.
Okay, 1,800 to go.
Okay, so one question.
Yes.
Your sentence is incomplete. You want 5,000 subscribers by when?
Okay.
Right? Because we need to have a timetable.
That's why I don't like to fool with you youngsters. My children do that to me too. My son has the habit of saying, well, this old man told me, and he's throwing it back in my face. Okay, so 5,000 subscribers by January 1st, 2023.
Okay. So
are women invited, Master Ware?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, one thing I say about women, if you listen to the videos, I'm not talking tools and grips and all the secrets of masonry on these videos.
Uh-huh.
I'm talking about internally building one's self.
Got it.
So even if a woman don't understand what's being said with this temple to temple, for example, she will identify what type of man she needs to have in her life.
Whoa, come on now.
Okay. Bottom line, because if you go according to the principles and precepts, you should be a better man, better boyfriend, better husband, better church member, better employee, better all the way around. What woman wouldn't want a man like that in their life?
Come on now.
But yeah, I'm thinking 5,000 subscribers by the first of the year.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Any other questions? Did that satisfy you there, Brother Gabe?
Absolutely. But we're going to be a little more ambitious in doing that in 3 to 6 months.
I got you.
I'm on board.
And see, that's the thing. I don't mind being held to task.
Yeah.
Because if you had told me you wanted that, I would ask you the same thing. Well, by when do you want them? But hey, so I keep telling y'all, I tried to walk on water, but the best I could do was the breaststroke. So I'm not perfect.
No, it's fine.
Help me out. So brothers, I appreciate you, and I'm gonna send the email to you for June 11th. We got some Momentum Conference lectures, and then we got parts 3, 4, and 5 of Temple to Temple, and that's gonna put the cap on it. Hopefully with the next discussion, we will know where we're supposed to be in life, whether you are a master mason or not, but where you're supposed to be. And that is being able, having the right and the privilege to walk into the Holy of Holies.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And the Holy of Holies might be a closet in your house. Bye.
Reach.
Talk to y'all later.
Yes, sir. Bye, gentlemen.
See ya. Bye-bye.
Yeah, that was a long meeting.
Okay.